If you compare this to the JPX921 forged, there's a couple things you're gonna notice instantly. It looks smaller, but plays bigger. It's like the ultimate combination. It looks thin, it looks sleek, but when you hit it, you feel like you hit a golf club much larger than its size. If there's one model that actually has like the longest lineage, it's probably the JPX forged. You can go back even to like MX20, MX23, one piece, grain flow forged with some forgiveness. That's been what Mizuno does. This has been really almost the trademark of a Mizuno line for dozens of years. Yeah, when you look at how it's evolved, it's come a really long way. If you go all the way back to like the MX line, they were forged out of 1025, sometimes 1035 material. It was a one-piece forging. We would go in and actually mill from the inside of the cavity to remove a little bit of mass to deepen the center of gravity. But ultimately, it was all about just moving mass around. It was making it more forgiving. What the JPX version of this golf club has done is really taken it to another level. We still mill out, but instead of coming from this side, we actually come from this side. Doing that from the sole removes even more mass and allows us to control very precisely the face thickness. What that's gonna allow us to do is dial in a precise COR, give you more ball speed, still move a load of mass around, but give you forgiveness and speed. What you can see when you look at this golf club is what looks like a player's club. Thin top line, beveled leading edge, really cambered sole, compact look at address. What you can't see is the technology behind it. There's milling from the sole side that's gonna increase the COR, it's gonna increase the ball speed, it's gonna move the center of gravity further back for higher launch. It's actually grain flow forged out of a chromoly material, which you can't really tell, but what that's gonna allow us to do is really get thinned areas to make sure you get just loads of pop out of this golf club, even though you have the feel of the grain flow forged HD. When you compare this to the previous generation, we went even thinner on the face and we went wider with that thin area. So that does two things. Going wider is actually gonna give you a more consistent ball speed all across the face. Going thinner is gonna give you a higher COR. So it's faster over more of an area. As we evolve a range, we're always looking for little bits that we can tweak to improve. The last version was great ball speed, great feel, but ultimately we did a ton of analysis in terms of how we reinforce this cavity to allow us to push the limits even further. So what our V chassis allowed us to do was not only make the top line thinner, but allowed us to go even thinner on the face as well to make sure we didn't sacrifice any feel. When you look at this set and how it flows from top to bottom, from 4-iron all the way to gap wedge, you can see some evolution in how we actually do the milling. The 4-iron gets a little bit wider, we mill over a larger area, and you work all the way down to scoring irons that really don't even have that milling, so they're thicker behind impact. Ultimately, what we're doing is delivering the proper amount of COR, matching to the proper loft to make sure you're gonna have great gapping and great control throughout the set. What I love most about the 923 Forged is how the performance outperforms the look. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean the look looks so players. It looks thicker than the previous one. It looks meaner, it looks more aggressive. It looks like a smaller cavity, but it plays so much bigger. You get so much more out of it. That's what I love about 923 Forged.